I was given an advance copy of a book called Signals of Transcendence by a guy named Os Guinness. And this book comes out in a couple months, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And if you're wondering, Os Guinness, that last name looks familiar. Yes, he is related to Arthur Guinness, which was his great-great-great-grandfather. So yeah, a lot going on in that family. But this book is great. This book is an exploration. Each chapter looks at someone throughout history. A lot of them are famous. C.S. Lewis, Leo Tolstoy. A lot of them people I didn't know before, and shows the moment that they had a signal, something that alerted them to faith in Jesus. And this is a cool exploration. It also feels like you're reading a ton of books at once. The way he writes, he's quoting lots of other authors. And so it's a deep dive into other people's stories, into other people's perspectives. And then it's an invitation for us as well to consider what might God be doing in our life and what signals might you be receiving as well. And so I want to give you my top 3 favorite quotes from the book. Number 1, I love what he says. He says, "Talk of transcendence smacks of drugs, madness, or mysticism. But such experiences are undeniable, and they are more common than many might think." So we're often quick to write these off of something happened weird or I ate something. But really, these are common moments where we have something that we can't quite explain. And the question is whether we explore that, whether we look deeper and ask, why is that happening? Or whether we just dismiss it and move on with our lives. Or how about this quote? "Each signal of transcendence sounds out its own special call. No signal is a signal for everyone to hear. So one person's signal is another person's silence. Be ready then for the call that comes to you in your own life. Whoever has ears to hear, let him hear." Each of these signals, as he talks about in the book, aren't universally applicable to all of us. We might read about someone's story and say, yeah, that wouldn't do it for me. But then you read about another one, you go, holy cow, that is my story, or I have experienced something like that. And it really gets to the heart of how God uniquely reaches out to each of us in our own ways. And Guinness makes room for all of that. Finally, I loved this quote. "The flash of insight must be followed by the hard work of thinking through what it means and following the logic of its thrust with close attention." In other words, the perspiration that follows the signal is as important to the search as the inspiration. It's not just that we have these moments where we say, wow, something big happened or something there I can't explain. The really important part is what we do next. How do we follow that? What are the follow-up questions that we ask? And this is where I think the book really shines, is it gives you a lot to think about, but then it leaves you with an invitation with your own experience with God. And so I love this book. I heartily recommend it to you. You can pre-order it. I have a link down below.